आपकी रोटी भी छीन रहे हैं, ये आपकी बेटी भी छीन रहे हैं और ये आपकी माटी को भी हड़प कर रहे हैं।
रास आई गए।
सब आग लगा के लूट फूक लेंगे हमारे सबके घर, सब चीज खाना रहा झगड़ी बच्चा सब लूट लेंगे।
चीफ मिनिस्टर के लिए मेरा एक ही संदेश है कि वो राजधर्म का पालन करें। राजधर्म ये शब्द काफी सार्थक है, मैं उसी का पालन कर रहा हूँ, पालन करने का प्रयास कर रहा हूँ। राजा के लिए, शासक के लिए प्रजा प्रजा में भेद नहीं हो सकता, न जन्म के आधार पर, न जाति के आधार पर, न संप्रदाय के आधार पर।
मुझे देखना था, मोदी जी को देख लिया, छू भी लिया, इससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं चाहिए था। बस देखना था योगी जी को, मोदी जी को टच करना था, छूना था। देख
कहाँ से आए हो आप?
मैं बोस्टन से आई हूँ और मुझे उनको बस छूना था। मेरा एक ही ड्रीम था, मैं मोदी जी को पास से टच कर लूँ, छू लूँ। भारत में मैं ओरिजिनली बिहार से बिलोंग करती हूँ, दिल्ली में सेटल्ड हूँ, लेकिन इधर उधर यूरोप और अमेरिका ही रही हूँ, मगर बस मोदी जी हैं मेरे भगवान मिल गए, ऐसा मुझे लग रहा है।
The day and age that we live in today, the greatest service you can do to this beautiful country is when you become spokesperson of rationality, logic, facts, not of these useless political parties. This goes for both Congress and BJP. Because these parties, they will continue to divide us. Why shouldn't they? Because they acquire power via dividing us. And that is the exact reason why we are becoming a highly charged, highly polarized, and highly frustrated civilization. What is happening? In this frustrated civilization, mob lynching is a common phenomenon. Mob justice is a common phenomenon. Mob justice. Even mob rapes are becoming common. A woman was mercilessly gang raped a few hours ago in Mao, Madhya Pradesh. Religion guides us. It teaches us morality, teaches us ethics. It tells us what is right and what is wrong. There is some fear in us if we follow through on a religion sincerely.
ये लोग सावन में एक सजा याफ्ता, जो सजा कोर्ट ने जिसको सजा की है, जो जमानत पर है, ऐसे एक मुजरिम के घर जाके सावन के महीने में मटन बनाने का मौज ले रहे हैं। इतना ही नहीं, उसका वीडियो बना करके देश के लोगों को चिढ़ाने का काम करते हैं। जब सब मुगल यहाँ आक्रमण करते थे ना, तो उनको सत्ता राजा को पराजित करने से संतोष नहीं होता था। जब तक मंदिर तोड़ते नहीं थे, जब तक श्रद्धा स्थानों की कत्ल नहीं करते थे, उनको संतोष नहीं होता था, उनको उसी में मजा आता था। वैसे ही सावन के महीने में वीडियो दिखाकर वो मुगल के लोगों के जमाने की जो मानसिकता है ना, उसके द्वारा वो देश के लोगों को चिढ़ाना चाहते हैं और अपनी वोट बैंक पक्की करना चाहते हैं।
See, foreign agencies, they're losing interest in India anyway. All the gains that we could have had economically speaking with the world decoupling from China, that's a lost opportunity now. Vietnam succeeded. Mexico is succeeding. They are the ones who took major advantage of Chinese decoupling, not India. We were just roaming around with nationalist pride. That's it. Just a few hours ago, Peter Thiel, he was asked a question, and that's what he said. Let me show you a clip. What is Vajpayee ji essentially doing? In simple words, Vajpayee ji is invoking Raj Dharma during Gujarat riots. Vajpayee ji is essentially referring to the ancient concept of ethical governance outlined in Dharma Shastra. It is this Dharma Shastra that becomes important now in season 2 of our political science journey. But let me begin with a very foundational question. The question is, in 2002, is Modi ji following Dharma Shastra or is he following Danda Shastra? Okay, so what is happening? What is the context? In 2002, Gujarat witnessed intense communal violence. Why? Listen, I will have to keep connecting politics with our theory. I will have to keep on connecting international affairs with our theory. Otherwise, you are just studying things in silos and you will not grasp anything, you will not understand anything. This is one mistake that many aspirants do. You keep on interconnecting the dots. So, what happened in Gujarat 2002? This violence was triggered by the burning of a train at Godhra station. Not much is said, but 59 Hindu pilgrims, they were burnt alive. How can anyone justify that? Who did that? Why did that happen? We can't have biases. Hindus or Muslims, Christians, everyone's life is important. These pilgrims were returning from Ayodhya. SIT was set up, and according to Gujarat police and the SIT, it was concluded that a few bogies were set on fire deliberately by a mob of local Muslims at Godhra. Now, some critiques, they have questioned the fairness. They've questioned the thoroughness of the investigation because there are concerns about the tempering of evidences related to both Godhra riots, the incident that took place, and then the riots that ensued thereafter. It was observed that the police called logs, the testimonials, they were destroyed. Some testimonials were not recorded properly. And all of that will undermine the faith in fairness. I will not go into it. But the point is, when all of this was happening, Modi ji was a chief minister. So who is responsible? What is happening? We tend to forget one thing, that very interestingly, state assembly elections were also due. Those elections were originally planned for early 2003, but then political situation changed dramatically after the Godhra train burning, after these riots. If you were Modi ji around that time, what would you do? See, politically speaking, no matter whether it is Modi ji or Nehru ji or Rajiv Gandhi ji, they all will be politically motivated. The desire, the quest is to stay in power. Nothing wrong with that. That is what Chanakya would say. For that quest to be in power, these leaders, they will capitalize on the situation. They should. So what he will do? He will dissolve the assembly early. He will call for elections by the end of 2002. He will present himself as a decisive and a very strong leader, someone who will secure the security of Hindus. Polarization of votes, polarization of voters will help him. The situation in Godhra, it could be used to create a narrative that there is a sharp divide between Hindus and Muslim communities. And this polarization always works. Politicians know this. Idiots do not know this. And that is why they're idiots, not politicians. Rajiv Gandhi ji has also done this multiple times. How can we forget the Shah Banu case? How can we forget that he allowed for the unlocking of Babri Masjid site? But he was confused. He was confused who to appease. Of course, he had the desire to be in power, but he was confused. Modi ji was not confused. He knew what he was doing. In fact, in Uttar Pradesh, these elections there are always followed by a communal violence. Before the elections, you will see a communal violence. Why? Is it because people hate each other? Conditions are created in such a manner that there has to be a divide in the community. These politicians, they have to polarize the vote banks. Muzaffarnagar riots in Uttar Pradesh happened a few months before the Lok Sabha elections in 2014. And what's the result? BJP won 71 seats out of 80 Lok Sabha seats. Dadri lynching happened in later 2015, 15 months before the 2017 UP Assembly elections. How many of you remember something called Kairana Exodus of 2016? Why? What is happening in 2016? Few months before the 2017 UP elections. Ram Mandir getting inaugurated in 2024. Why? Because 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Politically speaking, there is nothing wrong with it. This is now the reality of India. The day and age that we live in today, the greatest service you can do to this beautiful country is when you become spokesperson of rationality, logic, facts, not of these useless political parties. This goes for both Congress and BJP. Because these parties, they will continue to divide us. Why shouldn't they? Because they acquire power via dividing us. And that is the exact reason why we are becoming a highly charged, highly polarized, and highly frustrated civilization. What is happening? In this frustrated civilization, mob lynching is a common phenomenon. Mob justice is a common phenomenon. Mob justice? Even mob rapes are becoming common. A woman was mercilessly gang raped a few hours ago in Mao, Madhya Pradesh. Religion guides us. It teaches us morality, it teaches us ethics. It tells us what is right and what is wrong. There is some fear in us if we follow through on a religion sincerely. But today in India, religion is just a political tool. That is it. That is it. It's a political tool. Today we have lost any rational brain cell to think beyond caste and beyond religion. Caste is our identity, religion is our identity. And we cannot think beyond that. And these politicians, along with their algorithms, have given us certain myths that we have to follow through. And if anyone requests you to think beyond religion, caste, language, they will be termed as pseudo-liberals, foreign-backed agents. See, foreign agencies, they're losing interest in India anyway. All the gains that we could have had economically speaking, with the world decoupling from China, that's a lost opportunity now. Vietnam succeeded. Mexico is succeeding. They are the ones who took major advantage of Chinese decoupling, not India. We were just roaming around with nationalist pride. That's it. Just a few hours ago, Peter Thiel, he was asked a question, and that's what he said. Let me show you a clip.
It may not be as inflationary as people think because people always model trade in terms of pairwise, in terms of two countries. So if you literally have to move the people back to the US, that's insanely expensive. I don't know how much it would cost people to build an iPhone.
Does
if you had
India
to do it in
become
US.
the
But
new
you just well, I think India is sort of too messed up. But you shift it to like Vietnam, Mexico. There are 5 billion people.
Is he also anti-national? Fact is that he's an important investor. He makes money via predicting the future. And that's what he thinks of India. 2-second line. India is too messed up. Let's not talk about it. He is the one who founded PayPal. He is the one who launched Founders Fund, a fund that has backed some incredible startups, SpaceX, Airbnb, Stripe. Peter Thiel was an early investor in Facebook. I can go on and on with his investing geniuses. And that's what he thinks of India. Of course, some of us will term him as anti-national, and then we'll roam around asking for jobs. And he's not alone. Listen to what Charlie Munger had to say.
Indian civilization mired down, caste system, overpopulation, assimilating the worst stupidities of the democratic system, which, by the way, Lee Kuan Yew avoided. It's hard to get anything done in India, and the bribes are just awful. So all I can say is it's not going to be easy for India to follow the example of Lee Kuan Yew. I think India will move ahead, but it is so defective as a get ahead.
We can take some pride and tell him also that he's also anti-national. But in our banal pursuit of labeling others, we are ourselves becoming anti-national. Charlie Munger, Peter Thiel, they are investors who drive investing decisions of millions of other investors. And that's what they are thinking of this country. And we are also seeing how things are working out around us. Instead of blaming, don't you think any rational mind would think, let's do something about it? Why is this happening? The reason is simple. We are becoming incapable to think beyond our caste, beyond our religion. Congress leader dreams about caste. BJP leader dreams about religion. That's how they divide the country. Politicians will keep on dividing us. And people of India will be so brainwashed that they will not be able to think beyond Congress, aka caste, and BJP, aka religion. I've told this time and again, leader on top is nothing but the reflection of the might of people. If people of India, if they demand reservation for every caste, leader on top will ensure that you will all have some reservation of some kind. But what will you do with that reservation if there is no job, no security of life, liberty, property? If people of India demand a grand mosque, leader will ensure grand mosque, grand temple. They know how they derive their power. Sadly, this is what people of India are demanding. Can't think beyond this. Morning, evening, afternoon, this is what they think. My caste, your caste, my religion, your religion. And then they have nothing to eat. Terrible quality of life. Can't breathe. Countries like in Balkans, they provide free, clean drinking water and drink through the tap. But in India, you have to rely on Hema Malini. The day people of India, the day they start demanding jobs, clean water, clean air, better healthcare, good taxation structure, the leader on top will optimize for these indices. You will start seeing a change yourself. So today, the greatest service you all can do for this beautiful country is that you become spokesperson of rationality. The greatest service you can do for India is to teach 100 people around you about rationality, logic. Tell them to raise their voice when something is wrong. Do not justify rape basis political parties. Do not engage in whataboutism. Of course, you will be name called. They may call you, term you as idiots. That is fine. Hundreds of years ago, Copernicus, Galileo, they were also termed idiots. Why? Because they were teaching the world that it's Earth that revolves around the sun. But people around that time were so brainwashed, they could not see the logic. They were called anti-national for that logic. Back then it was not anti-national, but it was anti-God. They were trialed for it. At that time, you could not go against the teachings of church. Today, it's not church. Today, we have leaders who are now doubling up as God. A civilization, a mature civilization, can thrive only and only if we can first realize our mistakes, because only then we can correct our mistakes. We can't live in a black box that we are perfect, nothing is wrong with us. Look around yourself. Communal violence, rapes, they will continue to happen. Why? Because today our leaders, they can't think beyond caste, religion, language. Auto drivers slapping passengers in Bangalore for speaking in Hindi. Look at the level of frustration. They are not at fault. We are at fault. This is our country, no matter how messy it is. We have to clean it. And we can clean it. For that, please become spokesperson of rationality, logic. We cannot run away to foreign lands. Because even in those foreign lands, you will remain an Indian. We're already seeing the backlash against immigration in Germany, Netherlands. And it will continue to rise. Billions of Indians, where all will they go? They are dying crossing the borders in Canada, America. Why? Because this country itself is becoming a hotbed of irrationality. Nirmala Sitharamanji, what was she doing? A video went viral in Coimbatore. Anyone saw that video? A businessman simply asked a question around rationalizing the GST. That was the question. And he had to apologize in a separate room to a Rajya Sabha MP who can't even win elections on her own. It's the Finance Minister of India. Coming back to the initial video, in 2002, Gujarat witnessed intense communal violence. At that time, Modi ji was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. What did the then Prime Minister say publicly? Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. What did he say? He publicly advised Narendra Modi ji to uphold Raj Dharma during a press conference. Not just that, he further elaborates on it. He then says, a ruler should not discriminate against anyone. A ruler should not let people suffer in pain. I will not call king because we're not living in royalty. They're ruling over us for some time. A ruler should not let people suffer in pain. A ruler should not let people suffer in anguish, no matter which community they belong to. That is Raj Dharma, the Raja ka Dharma. What is Vajpayee ji essentially doing? In simple words, Vajpayee ji is invoking Raj Dharma during Gujarat riots. Vajpayee ji is essentially referring to the ancient concept of ethical governance outlined in Dharma Shastra. It is this Dharma Shastra that becomes important now in season 2 of our political science journey. But let me begin with a very foundational question. The question is, in 2002, is Modi ji following Dharma Shastra or is he following Danda Shastra?